Hello YouTube, Wes here checking in with a brand new video for you. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. I talk about vinyl, CDs, movies, and anything else I'm interested in. You never know what you're going to get here, but it's mainly about those three things: vinyl, movies, and music on CD. So what we have here today is a video about my September 2022 CD and DVD or CD and movie finds. I got some Blu-rays and a DVD that I'd like to share with you. And we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Not too much for the month of September, but a decent stack of stuff. So we're going to start off here with some CDs I found at the local Second and Charles. And if you don't have a Second and Charles in your area, it's a place where they buy and sell media of all kinds: books, CDs, movies, records, games, all those kind of things. It's kind of like a half-price books, I guess. I've never been to a half-price books, but it sort of seems to be the same kind of concept where they're buying and selling mainly used things. They do have some new things, but they have a decent selection of CDs there, so I picked up a few. The first one here is a Tangerine Dream release from 1990 titled Melrose. So yeah, I don't know what to expect with a Tangerine Dream CD from 1990, but for a couple, this was $2.95, so went ahead and grabbed that one. And then I found a few SA CDs there as well. I have been occasionally finding SA CDs at Second and Charles, and they seem to price them like they're normal CDs. I mean, most of these were around. This one was a little more. It was $6, but it's Rolling Stones' "Let It Bleed" on SA CD. So I thought that was a very cool find and definitely worth spending $6 on. So I was glad to have found that one. This next one was 360, Bob Dylan's John Wesley Harding on SACD. This little flip out thing here. And then the last thing I found here on SACD is this is James Taylor Golden Road, or no, October Road on James Taylor, and it's got this kind of plastic slip cover on here. It says it's a Super Audio CD, and then it flips out. Looks pretty much like a normal CD. But yeah, I thought that was a neat find, so I went ahead and grabbed. I do enjoy James Taylor, and for this was like $3.95 for that one. So I thought, yeah, that's cheap enough to hear. I do have an SACD player, so I am able to listen to those and enjoy them. So I do pick them up when I find them for not too much money. And then a couple more regular CDs I found at the Second and Charles. This is a later one from Linda Ronstadt titled "We Ran." When was this from? 1991, it looks like. So yeah, pretty late one from Linda Ronstadt, but I just wanted to check it out at some point, so I grabbed that one. And the last one I have from Second and Charles is Placebo's Battle for the Sun. One I've had digitally forever, listened to a lot. I just never owned a physical copy of, and now I have a physical copy of it. So that was a nice find as well. And yeah, there's the inside of that one. Okay, next up I got a stack of 10 CDs from the local Goodwill. My Goodwill, the CDs are 2 for $1 or 2 for 99 cents or 10 for $3. So it really is a good deal if you can buy 10, and I did find 10 on this occasion. Usually once a month at least I'll find 10 I want and be able to make that happen. So first one here I got on Verve. Stan Getz plays the girl from Ipanema. So nice compilation of that. Pretty nice one. A copy of Miles Davis's Kind of Blue. Classic here, and they've replicated the Columbia label. I may already have a copy of this on CD, but went ahead and added it to the stack. A couple of these 1987 Beatles releases on CD, which these are seem to be getting more collectible. People want them for some reason. I guess if you're a Beatles completist, you want to have these. So we got a copy of Help, original 1987 releases. And then a copy of A Hard Day's Night. And again, 1987 CD release. Let's see. Here's a sort of greatest hits kind of thing. Talking Heads, popular favorites. This is disc 2 of, I think there are 2. I think I may have a 2 CD set of this already. But again, you know, if not, I have it. It wasn't too expensive to purchase. Got a copy of Beatles Past Masters Volume 2. I don't remember when these Past Masters releases were first issued. 1988, it looks like, from the back of this. Got that. Copy of U2's The Joshua Tree. Island Records. Was a nice addition. Some what looks like electronic music. This is a blind buy for me. Brothers and Systems Transcontinental Weekend. It's on the Network IRS label, so it should be pretty decent, but definitely worth giving a try. So I grabbed that one. Had an interesting kind of look to it. Kind of almost looked like a Hearts of Space kind of release, but yeah, pretty neat. Got a copy of Jules' Goodbye Alice in Wonderland. 2006 is when this one was released, and this is kind of from the period where I kind of stopped paying much attention to what Jewel was doing, but wanted to go back and grab these when I see them, so I grabbed that one. And last of the Goodwill finds, we got a copy of Fleetwood Mac's The Dance, which I'm pretty sure I have this as well, but just sometimes I just pick things up just to be sure, and then if I do have a duplicate, I can trade it or sell it or whatever, give it away, that kind of thing. So got a few more here. I believe these are from the Humane Society thrift store. Pretty good thrift store near me. As people said, you know, you got to be consistent with thrift stores, and you don't ever want to give up on a thrift store. I'm going to be making another video after this one about a haul of about 40 CDs I got at the Humane Society just a couple weeks ago. So yeah, just, you know, you never know. Sometimes revisit a thrift store you haven't been to in a while just to see what's going on. Management changes. Sometimes they just get in stuff that is pretty amazing. So we got a copy of Lucinda Williams' West album. Grabbed that. I am still collecting these 20th Century Masters CDs. So we got the 20th Century Masters release for ABBA. The Millennium Collection. Those are always nice comps to have. And then the Best of Stanley Turrentine. This is on the Columbia Jazz series that they did. So that does it for my CD finds for September. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple of movies I picked up in September. These first two are also from Second & Charles. I was sort of browsing the movies there, and I came across El Topo, Alejandro Jodorowsky. This is a movie I've had on my wish list for a while. It's kind of like it's a Western movie, but it's very avant-garde, kind of alt-Western kind of thing. Just a bit sort of, I guess you could say it's kind of like a psychedelic kind of 70s movie, one of those, you know, art house kind of movies from the 70s. So I was really surprised to see this there in Second & Charles. It had been on my wish list for a while. I sort of read an article about it, watched a trailer, and thought, yeah, I'd like to see that sometime. Had it on kind of on my wish list, and just never got around to picking it up. And then just to stumble across it in the Second & Charles for $3.95, I went ahead and grabbed it. And also at the same time, I found another Alejandro Jodorowsky movie. This one's titled The Holy Mountain. So along the same lines, I think, kind of a 70s psych, avant-garde, underground kind of European take on a Western movie. Supposedly these movies are they're a bit controversial, with the subject matter. They're not a traditional Western at all. But yeah, definitely, I definitely go for, avant-garde, kind of controversial, maybe a bit boundary pushing kind of stuff. So I was really happy to find these two things there at the Second and Charles. Also picked up the latest movie by Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza. We'll have more to say about this in an upcoming Movie Time with Wes episode, where I actually talk about the movies we've watched. So we did watch this, but I did pick this up in September. And latest one from Paul Thomas Anderson, another good sort of 70s period piece from Paul Thomas Anderson. Really cool characters, and really interesting story, and a good movie. I definitely enjoyed that one. And the last movie I picked up in September, and then we'll let you go here. I found this in the $5 bin at Walmart, and I've never actually seen Xanadu before. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I've heard the soundtrack a bunch of times. I've heard the music. I've never seen the movie before. I've heard it's a pretty bad movie, but I thought, yeah, what the heck, let's go ahead and pick this up, and we're going to watch Xanadu at some point. So those are my digital finds for the month of September 2022. Promise I'm going to be getting caught up with these in the next couple of months. Try to get more than one a month out, so we eventually get caught up, because I've been finding things over the past 3 or 4 months, and I want to share them with you. And so that's going to do it. I thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me any questions or comments you have down below. Have a great day, great night. Enjoy some great music or some great movies, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.